to a crime scene. Yes. First things
What?
first, you came out with an assault rifle out. You tased an unarmed person that had their hands up without saying the taser,
I'll be
taser,
right back.
taser rule.
You can't tase an armed person to start with. It's taser rushing. You can only tase an unarmed individual.
Wrong, because if you have your taser up and they bring their weapon out, that's when you can tase, or if they're running. So,
Right? But
right,
I can also use it for compliance. Right?
all
They
right.
fail to comply with off order. I can do that. I can tase them because
But
if I
you
approach them, they're
don't,
going to run away.
because of the fact that you had no physical evidence. It was the same make and model of car, okay. But who
At
owned
that
the car?
point, that's
Who,
investigative. We weren't at the investigative point yet. We were
all
at
right,
the there's multiple parties. We need to get them secured and detained, and we need to separate them so then we can start the investigation process. That is what I was doing. I was trying to control it for the officer. The officer was the investigator, not me.
all right. But the way that it was executed was very poor.
I think it was executed pretty well. I mean, the whole point of
No,
securing a scene is to make sure it happens rapidly and quickly.
no. But the thing
A
is,
lot of times, officers give people too much time to think of what's happening. We need to be 3 steps ahead of the game. When you give the criminal too much time to think, that's when they pull the weapon and start shooting people. That's how
right,
everything turns into a code zero and everybody dies.
all right.
You want a good
But
trainer? Teach
are
them
you,
how to do that.
all right. You're sitting here. Hold on one second. My dog is scratching at my door. But as I was saying, hey, quit it. Come on, dog. You're constantly comparing this to like real life, and I'm trying to stress the fact that we don't run everything comparative to life. We run it comparative on how people want to see the police department, how they want to see police role play.
Then
Whether,
you need to train us on that then, because I obviously was not trained that way.
but Tony, it's kind of a common sense thing.
It's not
This
common sense. To me,
this
common
will
sense
never be
is
real life.
yeah, but to
This
me,
game will.
role play is that you're putting yourself in a position. You're putting yourself in that position of a police officer, and you're acting the conduct and training of a police officer. That's what
uh,
role play is.
But the thing with that is the fact of it's a video game. You like there will never. Have you ever? There's never going to be a point in time where the video game is going to be exactly like the same thing.
I understand that. But then you need
And
to stipulate what we can't do or what we can do, and that's not in place. So I default back to what would I do in real life?
well, I'm sorry, but life sometimes isn't fair, and sometimes the real world it doesn't apply within the game, and it's not stated because we feel people should get that. I I would entrust in you to think that in the server you're not going to tell the director of the FBI to get lost. That's what I entrust when I put somebody into in a low or high command position. I
Well,
trust that we know for sure that where their boundaries stand within the game, not in real life, not on real life codes. That's where I stand.
I mean, Adrian made a statement earlier that he didn't even understand where the FBI is at right now.
But the thing is, like, they may be in a sort of limbo, but the fact of the matter is, it's already been stated they hold jurisdiction around the whole map, and he is blatantly higher rank than you.
Yes, but he's also not in my chain of command.
But the thing is, we have to work with other departments. Like, just as if as the colonel, I can go and boss around a PD sergeant because he is blatantly lower than me.
I mean, so one of two things is going to happen at the end of the day if this continues the way that it does. And whether I'm in a department or I'm not in a department, no matter what rank I am, people are either going to call the FBI and give the scene right over to them, or not call the FBI at all. You're going to have more problems where the FBI just starts
No,
taking over things. That's really how this is going to keep working.
Tony. No, it's not, because the fact of the matter is, I'm stopping this before it happens.
Because
I've
I'm
already told that this was handled the wrong way, but due to the fact that how it was handled by everybody, people have to be punished. Now, the next time this happens, I'm going to say everybody's going to suck it up and you all are going to work together.
I mean, I'm never
But
going to
that
call
didn't
the
happen.
FBI. I will never call the FBI to a situation again at all.
All right,
They
then you
handled
can
it
get yourself
poorly.
shot at, Tony, for being selfish. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The only reason why I did call them is because there was no other officers to respond from any other
All
departments. That's the
right.
only reason why I called
So
the
then what?
FBI.
So then even so, basically, you're gonna lever your life in the game. So basically,
Well,
you're gonna put the odds against you because of your personal opinion on the FBI, because you don't want them there, because you're afraid they'll take your crime scene, because you don't want that to happen.
no,
That's
I mean
exactly what you're telling
I
me
have
right
to have some discretion. In this case, I shouldn't have called the FBI at all.
now.
Now, I mean, if it
Wrong.
was if it was a shootout, if it was a hostage, if it was an officer, in distress, then yeah, call the FBI. But in this, I didn't need to call them at all. We had both
All right.
suspects. We had both suspects detained. They both could have been moved. They both could have been talked to. We could have easily found out what each side of the story was. And oh, he did hit that thing. The suspect said, "Sorry guys, have a great day. We're out. Deuces." But instead, this entire thing escalated because the FBI was on scene, not because of me, not because of that officer, because the FBI arrived.
No, because the way you it all right, where this completely escalated was the fact that you told the FBI to get off scene. That's where I'm
And
basing my crap off right now.
right, well, in fact,
That's
there's
where
even
this
two
escalated.
troopers. Chris and Alex were both there. Was there a problem with Chris and Alex being there, or with me, or with Adrian? No. The state police had it together. We had it together. We knew what we were doing. We had it going
All
on.
right.
The problem
But
was
at
with
the
the
time of the
FBI.
arrival of the FBI, and at the time that you told the FBI director to get off, that you would threaten to take him off the scene, it was just you for the state troopers on scene.
That's right. But what I'm saying is our
And
teamwork, our camaraderie, us working together as a department, we understand what we need to do and get it done. That's what we were
all right.
doing.
But the thing is, you have to learn to work together. Like,
I tried to work with him. I tried to tell him what was happening. I tried to explain the
yes.
situation.
And
But
then but
then,
then authority has to come in at a certain point.
no,
If you felt
favoritism
that
came in. He was
all right,
friends with both of
wrong.
those individuals.
I looked at that and that was a BS arrest.
They weren't even arrested. At no point in time did I say you were under arrest, except for the guy who was failing to comply. And I don't even think I told him he was under arrest for
You
that.
put Cunning and Day both in cuffs. That is
Yes, we did, to detain them.
that so you detained two people. Like you it makes no sense to me.
No, it does make perfect sense. You detain all parties in question, especially if you're arriving to a dead body on your scene. You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea who's armed. You
All right,
need to bring
but
control to the
both
scene
of them
and
were
make sure you're
showing a
safe.
peaceful manner. Both of them had their hands up, yet you still had them both. You had them both put in cuffs.
Exactly, because
Taser on them.
at no point in time did I want them to pull a gun on us and just start to shoot
All right,
us.
then you have them keep their hands up, and if they take their hands down, then you have a valid reason to taser them.
I think I was in the right. I mean, do you ever watch any kind of police show ever?
Hey,
Do
you
you
do
do
realize my dad's
cops?
been a cop for the past 2 decades.
That's great. And how many
I've
times
been
does he just go up to people where there's a dead body at and tell them, "Hey, what's going on? Tell me about this dead body over here by this car."
no, but like I said, this isn't real life. This is a video
Then
game.
I'm going to protect me, and my other officers
I
will be on
gotta go
scene.
for the night, so Keegan,
All
you.
right, I'm not putting this up for debate anymore. I'm carrying out the suspension no matter what. I've seen it, in my opinion, as a valid reason for there to be a suspension here. Um, Chris, you are not being suspended because I didn't even see you on scene in this video.
Give me a second. I'll unmute him in a minute.
I'm carrying out the suspension. Tony, you will be down to the rank of sergeant for the next week. And I hope by then you can realize the fact that this is not real life.
Okay. No.
Good night.
I mean, I just thought that there was positive changes to all of this. I thought there was something great coming along with Project Blue, and that's why I've been inviting people, getting the server population up, getting everybody motivated, morale boosted. That was pretty freaking rude of them, wasn't it? Hey. Glencoe just PM'd me and he said, "As a law enforcement explorer, actively attending criminal justice high school, I can tell you that the Federal Bureau of Investigation's job is to force, investigate, and provide service on a federal level, which would include federal crimes such as serial killers, bank robberies, etc. While the FBI is a superior agency to both state and local law enforcement, they do not have jurisdiction over such crimes that seem to have happened here. While I can say there was a couple policy violations committed on your guys' part, the FBI is not permitted to handle such things on a scene due to the fact that it can cause mass conspiracy over a law enforcement agency and embarrassment to such agency. While I know this is a game, it is still completely unacceptable and an utter disgrace to be representing the law enforcement side of the community. Such issues should be handled off scene with a superior of the offending officer's agency, which a non-federal level investigation will take place. Another issue I see is that the FBI should not have been at that location in the first place, even if called. This is not their job at all." Hang on one second. Glencoe said, "The one thing that I seen for sure was not announcing that you were deploying your taser. As for anything else, I'll have to double check." Couple wasn't the word I was really looking for, but it made the most sense at the time. So really, the only thing they can see me doing wrong is I didn't announce taser, taser, taser. I don't like Keegan at all. Basically. Yeah, I mean, Keegan is the worst of them. He just makes executive decisions on his own without even agreeing with Adrian. I mean, he shouldn't have even been the one to give me the suspension. If Adrian's superintendent of the department, he should have been the one to do it. I told Adrian that Keegan's hot temper is not what is needed in his position. He only continued with the suspension because I explained what I did right. If the rule isn't written, I'll default to what I would do in real life. That makes perfect sense. I mean, isn't that what you would do too? Default to what you would actually do in real life? He just demoted me to trooper. Keegan did. He said, due to your inability to comprehend. That is so disrespectful. He said, due to your inability to comprehend. He basically said, you're stupid. Due to your inability to comprehend that you are suspended and going to staff for an in-character suspension, you're being demoted to the rank of trooper. Yeah, sorry. I see that you tagged Keegan. No. Oh, wow. Who's day? Day, night? For those individuals that need some more information and insight, you might want to check the comments.
Okay, I will. Give me a sec.
You don't have to refresh the video.
Ugh.
I'm sorry your demotion hammer is getting a little sore there, Keegan.
Yep. You know, you wouldn't have been demoted if the fact that you hadn't taken it up with Glencoe.
Oh, Glencoe seems to be the only reasonable one who actually understands, and with him being in a position...
Right. Nice job. Nice
of-
talking to you.
Say that, but he also got demoted last night. I think he could just sympathize.
All right. He was just kicked from the server.
Ooh.
Glencoe isn't even that good. Like, I
Can we-
fucking talked
can
about our
we
master
consider
DM.
that
Like, okay,
a,
I'll talk to the guy